Hey, I'm Mike Wesch. I'm a professor at Kansas State University, and I really wanted to be in Moscow uh, for this, but unfortunately I just couldn't make it work with my schedule. I did want to say a few things about the future of education and Web 2.0 in general. Um, so the first thing I wanted to start off with is just I'm thinking like as I'm sitting here, I'm just realizing that nearly all of the knowledge of all of humankind is literally in the air all around me. And I don't mean that just these books and papers that are around me, but I mean it's literally in the air all around me. And all I need is a device, whether it's a cell phone or whatever it might be, and the knowledge to use it. And literally this entire body of knowledge is there. And yet, I think about my classroom and I realize that, we still sort of have the entire structure of the room, for example, is based on this idea that information is scarce and that there's this person up at the front of the room, the authority, the expert, who can impart the knowledge onto the students who sit there, come into the classroom with their empty heads and just need their heads to be filled with this information. And it seems kind of bizarre, right? Because the reality is that the information is literally all around them. It's in the room all around them. As long as they have a wireless connection, they can get all that information. So something in our education system needs to change. And I want to take it a little step further and point out that it's not just that information is ubiquitous and that this network is increasingly becoming everywhere. It's also that the information itself is qualitatively different, that digital information is different, and that we have been kind of locked in old ideas about information on paper as a thing with a material form that have led us to misunderstand the possibilities for a world of ubiquitous digital information and ubiquitous networks. Now, Web 2.0 is, a lot of these technologies are really just sort of the first technologies to really harness these new possibilities that we hadn't really seen before. And I think some of the key things that are happening there is sort of this core insight, almost like an ethos of collaboration and participation. These are the big things I see coming. And together, collaboration and participation create the possibility for collective intelligence. Or Kevin Kelly has this great line where he says, nobody is as smart as everybody. And we're starting to see that online. And so the more we get into this idea that digital information is everywhere, that we are constantly connected with virtually everybody on the planet in these different ways, we start to realize that none of us can really claim to be the sage on the stage anymore. We're all teachers and learners both at the same time. We're a vast community of teacher learners, and none of us more one than the other. And I think that our students who are now engaged in this mass collaboration of, it's like a remix culture, they demand and deserve that we bring this same insight into the classroom. I mean, we can't pretend that this is the old world where there are definitive experts and that the information is not literally in the air all around them. We need to change it up a little bit. And so the way I see things happening here is to maybe think about what happens if we approach the classroom as a mass of potential collective intelligence rather than a mass of empty heads. And in that case, what you end up doing is, instead of trying to fill up those heads with information, instead you turn the students loose in the rich information environment we now live in to actively seek out, find, critique, and even create all of this information. And thereby it allows the students to realize and leverage this new media environment that is all around them. It's actually a sort of a living mediascape that we live in today. And that, I think, is the core thing they need to learn. It's the core thing we need to recognize in the classroom, that we live in a different mediascape today. And engagement, collaboration, participation, these are the new goals that we need to pursue. So have a great conference. Again, I wish I could be there. And thank you for listening to me. Bye.